Yes, you see, you saw me go off mute, right?
I sure did.
He's ready to talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very, very brief introduction. Was at General Motors for a long time, transitioned into internal audit at Flagstar Bank. I'm part of the Great Resignation. I left in June. Was not interested in the merger, was not interested in internal audit, wanted to go back to kind of, I thought, I was done. And then it's kind of interesting because I had conversations with people that I respect and, call out to Gary on the phone and he says, you might really want to rethink that. And so for 2022, I'm rethinking, I really should get back into, governance, risk and compliance. I've had some interviews. They have been, I get to the parts of the interviews, still working on learning, okay, I need to do better stories, those improvements. But part of it is as time continues and I get more and more months away from no longer employed, how do I fill those gaps in LinkedIn or, other explanations? Currently, I just kind of keep it open-ended. And then when I get to the interview or I get to the first conversation, I explain the situation. But as that time increases, I get to the idea that, now I really need to be able to fill in that story on, what else is going on, yeah, you left and, gosh, what's going on? So that would be very helpful for me to understand how do you add that piece of transition?
Yeah.
I'm doing some spot work, GLG Guide Point, I've got, do a little bit of expert interviews. I've got, like for ISACA, I'm on the board of directors, but those aren't really, roles per se, but, what do you do to fill in the gap?
Yeah, it's a great question, Maureen. And I think you're absolutely right. People want to know how you're moving forward in the moment. They don't want to just hear what were you doing. And the longer that gap is, then becomes, well, what's going on? So it's really important for you to be looking at. So, and it sounds like also you're dealing with some motivation for yourself. Like, do I even really want to get in? It's like, so finding for you what it is that really is going to excite you in this next position you're looking for, and then look at what might be the next right piece for you to be doing. You could be, it sounds like you've got a lot of experience. I don't know if there's a skill set you want to develop, or there's another something kind of training you might want to be doing that would be a hands-on, or even doing some volunteer work in the area if that was something that interested you, or your own consulting and sort of beginning to grow that just with individual clients from past work, just to kind of have something to have you working in it. But I think the important thing is for you to really kind of get yourself turned on around what is it I really want for this next part of my life and my career? How is it that my career is real? This is actually perfect on our topic today. How is this career move actually going to be a contribution to my life rather than something that's going to get in the way of what I really feel like I want to do right now? So what are your thoughts about that? I'd like to hear your response to that.
Well, interestingly enough, I'm not bored, just, seriously doing, the home projects that have been sitting for too long, doing those I call it side hustles because, it's an hour here, hour there, is, so I'm not bored from that standpoint, but I do know that I would like to return back to the corporate world. I get enough requests for franchise. I swear they look at me and go, "Oh, are you sure you don't want to buy a franchise?" Yes, I do not want to buy a franchise. Right. Fairly clear on that perspective. One of the things that I'm still mulling over, because I get a lot of input from people, is, do I want to go back from, I've been in leadership positions for a long time. They said, well, at this point in time, maybe you just want to be, an analyst. And I go back and forth, and then I always end up rejecting. I don't want to just go back and be a GRC analyst. And been there, I've done that. I can do it in my sleep, but I don't think it's going to be very fulfilling. So definitely want to go back into leadership. I'm starting to cultivate, there's a new CISO over at the health system that I'm connected with. So reaching out and going, hey, what's going on? Because we know that is really the connections. I mean, I can apply to LinkedIn positions till the cows come home.
Right.
If I don't have connections, I think that's just kind of a lesson in futility.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
it's
upset.
true, but it's just something that I've noticed is you can't really do the cattle call. I know when Comerica was hiring, I did the connect the dots and got through a couple of interviews, and it
Yeah.
wasn't a good fit.
Well, and at your level, you're not going to be just applying for a job. You're really looking for a place that is looking for a leadership role where it's going to take a little bit more time, perhaps, unless you have the contact right away. But you're absolutely right. It's through networking, absolutely. So help me understand just a little bit. What is your specific position? I didn't quite catch all of that.
Okay, so my passion is information technology, information security, governance, risk, and compliance. That is what I do. That is what turns me on. I love to fix what is broken and take what's fixed and make it better. And I like to do that through teams. So that's
Cool.
kind of my.
Cool. And one of the things I often recommend a person in your position at your level is to pick 3 or 4 organizations that you think would be the target ones that you'd most want to work for. In other words, really do your research on that to say, yeah, at this point in my career, I want to make a difference. That's why I'm coming back. I don't, otherwise, what's the point? And these are 4 or 5 organizations that I've looked at where I think this is the place that's really the right fit for me. And really do your homework on that and network yourself into that organization. You'll interview very well. You got the skill set. You know how to interview. You know the game.
Your elevator pitch. I was like, I want to hire you.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got it. It's just more a matter of you're the buyer right now, and you deciding what it is you really want and do your homework. So when you walk in and talk to somebody or you're networked into somebody, you've already got a handle on what their challenges are, what you can do to help them, and why you picked them.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That's helpful, and it's helping to kind of crystallize what that direction is going to be. Because from where I am physically located, there's a lot of positions. I'm getting a lot of advice from other people. I'm just trying to parse what do I really want to go into. Somebody's like, well, you should only go into finance because you came out of finance. I'm like, yeah, I got 21 years in manufacturing. I can go back to manufacturing.
Right. Exactly. All righty. Good luck with that.